Awesome. Hi, Joe.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to us. We are super honored and excited to have you as our guest speaker. So tell us more about yourself. Who is Joe Prince?
That's actually that's quite a question to be honest. Because I don't know, I think I'm a lot of things. I think one thing about me is that you can't really place me in a box. And but I think
Yeah.
that's the same thing for a lot of people. Like humans are complex, you have a lot of, sides to you, and yeah, but I'm a netball player. And yeah, and that has opened up a lot of doors for me, given me a lot of opportunities. And then, I have my thing, like I am doing a bit of modeling on the side. And then I'm a
Oh,
family person. I graduated from Morty's last year. I studied education and I played netball for
oh,
Morty's
that's
for
awesome.
6 years. Yeah. And I am playing for the Southern Stings, and we will be having TNL this year still. So that's, yeah. So yeah, I'm Joe. I'm just Joe, to be honest.
That's awesome. And you, like you mentioned, you're a very well-known netball player. You've played for Marty's, you play for the
Yeah.
Southern Stings, and you also play in this Stella Netball Premier
Oh
League.
yeah, the Sun Sport SPNL. Yeah, yeah, that's still coming. The tournament is happening next year because of obviously, COVID and whatnot, but
Yeah.
they will still be having a little bit of a netball festival this year. So yeah, so
Oh,
hopefully, I don't know, they haven't announced any teams yet. So hopefully I will be part of one of the teams. And then yeah, I'm part of the Protea squad also.
oh wow.
So yeah, we'll see if we'll get a chance to have, like a little training camp and be able to play trials and all those kinds of things. But yeah, because of COVID, obviously a lot of things are still up in the air. But yeah, I think the 2021 season is going to be very exciting because then we have a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, tell us who inspired you or influenced you to start netball?
Mm. So actually, I feel like I've been playing netball my whole life, because my mom used to play, yeah, when
Oh
she
wow.
was younger. Yeah, so obviously those times were a bit different because we had your apartheid vibes and all those kinds of things. But my mom played, like she played at for like Sasa, and they went to the SA champs, and they actually like won. I think it was like 1981 or something like that. And my mom played center. So yeah, I also play center
Oh,
and like wing defense and wing attack. And then my older sister Margaret, she also used to play, and she also played like essays in school and like went to Singapore. So netball has always like, been a part of my life. So I'm definitely like inspired by the women in my life personally, and then obviously just growing up and watching the Proteas play. I've kind of always envisioned myself to one day play there. And I still do. I mean, it's always a dream. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity to
yeah.
wear the green and gold and represent your country. And I was fortunate enough to play for the baby Proteas and under 19 and under 18. So, it's just that one last step of making the senior team.
Yeah, and you've achieved so much, and it clearly has taken a lot of hard work and commitment. So, what
Yeah.
did you do differently than all the others that has got gotten you to where you are?
Yeah. I think I am blessed. I am blessed with like the talent that God gave me. I must, yeah. So I must admit, like I've always had like a bit of an edge from a young age. Because I come from a small town. I grew up in Bredasdorp. I mean, a lot of
Oh
people don't
wow.
even know where that is. Yeah. So I was like, I'm actually a small town girl. And my teachers always, they saw from like when I started playing, like, okay, wait, this one. She can pass the ball a bit better, she can run a bit faster, the kind of thing. So yeah, so I love the game, but also like I was good at it. But then the thing about having talent is, talent can only take you that far.
Yeah.
So you got to realize like hard work is going to beat talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah.
So you still
That,
need to put in that extra bit. You still need to like, you know, do an extra run, check what you eat. And I think, yeah, the thing I did differently from a young age, I knew what I wanted. I knew where I wanted to go. And I kind of aligned my life and like planned my life out in such a way where things that keep me away from that and is not going to bring me closer to my goals, I don't have space for that in my life. Like that can't be, you see. So I was never the goal that you would find going out and going to
yeah.
clubs or drinking or those kinds of things. Like that's just not a part of my lifestyle. And so yeah, it's just like remaining focused and knowing what you want. And my brother-in-law, he always has this thing where he told me, you have to do what you there's things you have to do to be able to be able to do what you want to do, kind of.
Yeah.
So I knew what I had to do to be able to do what I want to do, and that is play netball to the best of my ability and hopefully like be a professional netball player.
Yeah.
Obviously, in South Africa, we're not able to yet. We're not that professional. That is the goal. And hopefully soon I will be able to do it for a living and also people coming after me. But for now, we're still semi-professional, still feeling it out. But hopefully netball will get more exposure, more growth, and we'll be able to do it as a professional sport, especially with World Cup coming to Cape Town in
Yeah.
2023. So hopefully before then, you know, we'll be able to do this full time.
Yeah, that's amazing. And especially now with the pandemic, there's been a lot of disappointments that
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
and especially our learners. So,
Yeah,
what phases of disappointment have you faced, whether it was during the
yeah,
pandemic or in life in general, and how have
yeah.
you stepped up from it?
So obviously, if you've been following me or you've been aware of like my story, my journey, people will know that you know I kind of have like had a tough year last year and a tough season. Even though my season was like my one of my best seasons on court, like off court personally, I mean, I lost my sister to cancer and just like personal
Oh,
things in my life were just kind of like falling apart a bit. But
yeah,
and that's the same like this year. Obviously, you have a lot of plans and you kind of plan your life out and you have all these goals and you're very excited about them, you have all these expectations.
yeah,
And then things happen that you have absolutely no control over. Like we don't have control over this pandemic. Like we didn't like say, okay, we're gonna get this worldwide pandemic. It's not even that it's just in our country or whatever. It's a worldwide
yeah,
pandemic, and people are actually losing loved ones to it, and it's really affecting the way we are living, and it's creating like this new normal that we have to adapt to. So I think when things go wrong and things don't go to plan, focus on the controllables. Focus on what you can impact, what you can have like an influence on. Because the thing is, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen to you, or it's going to happen to other people. Things do happen that you have no control over. But what you can control is how you respond to it and how
yeah,
you know, control yourself and your emotions. And kind of obviously, you're going to have bad days. And I think it's very important that you be kind to yourself if you're a
yeah,
bit down, if you're having a bad day, if you're not feeling the most, like acknowledge it. Don't try and like ignore it and push it down for it to just explode and you not having control of it over it at a later stage. Like acknowledge what you're feeling, but know it is temporary. Know that this too shall pass, and you just gotta try and remain focused and focus on the things that you are grateful for and the positive things. Like I constantly just saying when people ask me, "Are you doing whatever this pandemic and all those kinds of things?" I'm just like, I'm very blessed because I'm healthy and my loved ones are healthy, and that's all I could ask for at this stage because there are many people that can't say that.
yeah. That's so amazing, especially when you said focusing on the things that you can control. So I think that's
Yeah.
a in concept.
Yeah,
And
so now with you like now say now you can't write your test at school, or it's kind of those things of adapting at school and those kind of little things, but then just think, okay, I have this assignment now. Let me just focus on this. I can do this assignment at home right now, where there may be people that can't even do an assignment at home because their home situation is not that great or ideal for it. So just kind of, yeah, in everything, like just think on just focus on like what you can do and how you can control that. Because otherwise, if you're just going to think of all the other things, that you're just going to lose your mind, to be honest.
Yeah, that's so true. And in terms of like being successful and becoming a champion, whether it's in sport, academics, or culture, what few principles can you give to us?
I think for me, it is you have to know your why. You have to know why
Yeah,
you're doing something or why you want to achieve something. Because if you're not going to know your
yeah,
why and things get hard and things get a bit tough, then it's going to be hard to like push through that and get to the top. Because
yeah,
for me in my sport, I constantly remind myself of that little girl that loved the game. And that's why I started playing. So obviously you're going to face disappointments. I've faced disappointments in my netball, and then you kind of question, why am I still doing this? Why am I putting so much effort into it? Why it takes so much? I takes me away from my family for times, and like, you make sacrifices to do that. And then you ask yourself, but why am I doing that? And then I just remind myself, this is why I started playing. I love the game. Or say now, if you don't necessarily have that love for something, but you're doing this to get to something or get to a place where you know you want to go, and you know that place is like a goal for you, then you kind of just think, I just have to get through this now to be able to get where I want to be. So just keep constantly in everything, in academics, in sport, in anything in life, just remember why you're doing something. And say now what you're doing right now is not what you want to do, but it's gonna take you to where you want to be. Then just
yeah,
remember that. Just
yeah,
remain like focus on the goal, but don't focus so much on the goal that you forget to live in the present and like appreciate the present moments. So it's just
yeah.
about having balance. I think for me, like balance is key in life, to be honest.
Yeah, that's so true. And especially like if you want to be successful in anything that you do, you need to keep on pushing and having resilience.
Yeah.
And really important that you
Yeah.
mentioned. And you've also started your own podcast. Congratulations on
Yes.
that.
Oh yeah. Like that, yeah. That was kind of for a project, because I was doing like this online course, like digital marketing, and because I
Yeah,
like learning, I like figuring out things, and so I started this podcast, but it's something that I've always wanted to do, because I feel like as athletes, people don't really know much about us. Like you see us on the court, or you see us on the field, or wherever we may compete, and that's all you see. And I wanted to start this podcast just to, give a platform to athletes, just to for people to get to know them, and for them just to be their authentic selves and share their stories in a way that's, a bit more unfiltered
yeah,
and goes a bit deeper than your regular 5-minute interview kind of vibe. So yeah,
yeah,
but it was kind of inspired by me myself, knowing that I'm much more than just a netball player. And then also kind of my boyfriend also, because I know him and I know who he is, and but people don't know he, they just see him like this guy on the track. And so
yeah,
this, just looking at us and the conversation that we have personally, I was just like, "Ah, but I feel like people would like to hear this. People would like to see this side of you that they don't usually see." And yeah,
yeah.
that was kind of my inspiration for the podcast. And I definitely going to do more episodes, but it just takes a little bit of work and time. But I'll definitely give you guys more episodes.
Yeah, I saw you were on episode 4 now. So
Yeah,
that's really
I did a 4-part, yeah, episode that I dropped like all at once. So yeah, I don't have like a monthly, or I didn't decide yet like how many episodes I'm gonna drop. It's just, when the story comes and when the
yeah.
inspiration comes, and yeah, and if people want to listen, then I'll do it.
But I think it's really great that you started something like that. Because usually, like you said, when people watch athletes, whether they're on court, on the field, they just
Yeah,
watch like a small amount of time
yeah,
of the day. And then they create a perception of them, but it's like only a,
yeah,
yeah. So it's really amazing that you're giving athletes this space and this environment to express themselves. So yeah, I think that's
yeah.
brilliant what you're doing.
Thank
And
you.
I wanted to ask you, what was the highlight of your career?
Oh, gosh. I have a few highlights. I mean, everything is like special. Like you have special games that may not be significant on your CV or whatever, but that's special to you. But if I have to have my highlights, it would definitely be being a baby protea and playing SA Under 21 and
Mm,
representing the country at the World Cup qualifiers. That's definitely a highlight. Also, I mean, winning Marty Sportswoman of the Year, like that's mad. It's not really that like
yeah,
a, a team sport or like a netball player wins that award really. So that was quite special and really a great way to end off my varsity netball career with Marty's because they've been great for me. And then
yeah.
winning the TNL Center Court Player of the tournament, and then obviously making the Protea squad. So I think the top four. So top four highlights. Yeah.
And being in the role that you are, you must have experienced a lot of pressure. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So, what advice would you give to us as learners on how to deal with pressure?
Everybody experiences pressure differently. Like,
Yeah,
some people do. I can't say like this is gonna work for everybody or whatever, but I actually enjoy the pressure. The more pressure there is, the better I want to perform. So
yeah,
I'm kind of like one of those people. But for me, I think definitely with dealing with pressure is you have to stay grounded.
yeah,
And somebody actually told me that was like the sports psychologist, like there's ways of grounding yourself that may be, you have your senses, and then you just use your senses, like listen, what do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you feel like? Do you feel the court under your feet, or do you feel
oh,
the
wow.
grass under your feet, or touching something with your hands? Do you feel that? And just grounding yourself, because obviously when you're playing in front of a big crowd, there's a lot happening. They are
Yeah,
loud and it's a lot of a lot of action happening. And if you just need to take a couple of seconds just to come back into yourself, because then you get into your head and you go all over the place and you're thinking about a million different things at one time. It's kind of just bringing it back to yourself, centering yourself, like just, using your senses to come back into your body and, kind of just breathe. Just breathe. It's going to be
yeah,
okay. Just breathe. And then just remind yourself that you, of the worst things you've been through and kind of like you made it through that. If you could do that, you can obviously do this right now that you're doing. And also just taking it second by second or task by task and not looking at everything that you still have to do or everything that's in front of you or all the pressure that comes with it. Or so I'm just gonna use a netball example. Like I can't think I can't give a bad pass because if I'm constantly gonna think about I'm gonna give that bad pass. So
yeah,
just focusing on the thing of I know how to pass it. Like I know I pass the ball how many times a day. Like you know how to do that. But if you're gonna
yeah,
think about it and overthink it, then you're gonna do something wrong because
yeah,
you're not doing your natural thing. You're not doing your natural movement that you have practiced and you have trained. So trust yourself, trust your preparation, and then,
yeah,
just ground yourself, breathe, and
yeah,
go through it. Yeah.
yeah. That's so true. And especially when you said to ground yourself. And I think it's so important because
Yeah.
many people, when they're faced in situations where there's a lot going on, they're very
Yeah.
anxious. They don't know what to
Then
do.
you start.
Then you overthink.
Yeah.
Then your mind's all over the place. So I think that's a really great concept and principle that you gave or advised to us. So, what is the most important lesson that you've learned in life being a woman in such an
Mm.
influential role?
You know, gosh, I've learned so many things, honestly. And just
Yeah,
even in this lockdown, not even doing anything and just, kind of being stuck at home and really, looking within and looking at your life and everything that's been happening. I just kind of made me realize that you have to, love yourself and you have to back yourself and believe in yourself. And the thing is, like, not everybody's gonna like you. not everybody's gonna root for you, but that's honestly okay. Because if you are
Yeah,
comfortable within yourself and if you can, go to bed and sleep peacefully because you did you and you didn't compromise yourself for anything or anyone, and you know what you stand for, and you don't have to make anyone else happy. Just have, I'm a Christian, so for me, I have to know that I'm good with God and then I'm good with myself. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Obviously, I make mistakes and I'm only human, but I got to know that what who I am and
yeah,
what I stand for, like that's good. If other people don't agree with me or other people, you can't be doing things for other people. You can't be living for this world, in my opinion. Like you gotta know it's a lot bigger than you. So I think as a young woman, know who you are, know where you want to go, know whose you are, instead
yeah,
of trying to please everybody and, make everyone happy and live for this world because, there's so much more to life than just achievements or just
yeah,
reaching goals. Yeah, and happiness comes from inside, to be
yeah.
honest.
That's so
Who
important.
is this person you're commenting? Hello, this is a school thing.
Oh
This is
wow,
very,
I
it's very
didn't even
unnecessary.
see that.
What a kind of spelling is that also?
Oh, that's brilliant. I didn't even see that. Oh,
I
really?
just saw this. I'm like, you are very
I was
sexy.
I was busy taking in what you said, so I wasn't really focused.
Oh gosh,
Wow.
goodness me.
But
Cancer.
coming back to what you said, I think that's amazing because you always have to stay true to yourself.
Yeah,
Because you continue to please people, and then you'll end
yeah,
up you like lose yourself. And I think it's yeah, I think that was an amazing concept that you gave to us. And one last question before we conclude. So what would you like to tell upcoming netball stars?
I think a lot of young Nipple stars, or people that want to make it, I just want to say, like, you don't always have to be the best in school. Like, if you didn't make the provincial team or like the first team in school, like that doesn't really mean anything. Like, you have people that peak in school and then they don't make it when they're senior level, or you have people that make it every single year, provincial and A team, and get all the awards, and then they excel also like after school. So my thing is for any young up and coming sports person, like don't compare your journey to someone else's.
Yeah,
Like, don't compare where you're at with someone else. Like, that's their journey. You have your own. As long as you know you put in the work and you try to be the best you can be,
yeah,
that is the most important. And like I said also at the beginning, like you can have talent, but if talent is not going to work hard, like the people that's going to work out is going to play you out.
yeah,
So it's definitely like it's your journey. Appreciate the journey. Go on it. You're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have disappointments sometimes, but rather than like making that like get you down, learn through it and
yeah,
learn the lessons through life and yeah, and just believe in yourself, back yourself, and you will be great. It doesn't matter if Sunny is beating you out every day. If you work hard enough, you will be the best you that you can be.
yeah. Thank you so much, Joe, for your time. We really appreciate it. And thank you for all the insight and the advice that you gave. And we wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you so much for having me, and I wish you guys all the best and good luck with this new normal and doing
Yeah.
school and finishing school and yeah, like school was great. I enjoyed school. So
Oh,
enjoy
wow.
it. Like yeah, like don't be like I can't wait for this to be over because
Yeah.
and I just feel like you should enjoy every phase you're in your life at that stage.
Yeah.
And yeah, and just be you. I mean, you're great. God made you for a reason.
Thank you so much. I hope you have
Thank
a wonderful
you.
evening further. And yeah,
Yeah,
thank
you
you.
too. And thanks for tuning in and thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a
Bye.
bye.